evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawson. Our main headlines tonight.
Daddy, it's starting!
It's starting!
Yeah, every single one of you's a bit Jesus.
What a wild ride this has been.
Warum muss ich zweimal eingeben? Was soll der Scheiß?
Well, that's a very blunt question.
Experience the story without the stress. Non-broadcaster mechanics of views are very forgiving. Less challenging, non-broadcast mechanics. Also das ist gerade die Schwierigkeit, die ich einstelle. A balanced experience, non-broadcast mechanics and viewer.
Never happy. It's never enough.
Cannot believe you.
Na gut, machen wir das an. Fucking hell, ist laut.
That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Fuck, ist das hell? Jeremy Dawson is the country's most popular and trusted news anchor. For now. They won the election. Worum geht's in dem Spiel? Das habe ich noch nicht so ganz rausgefunden. Kann ich Audio mal ein bisschen leiser stellen, weil das ist ja echt fucking laut. Sollte passen. Turn right.
Hi David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. All right,
Okay.
mate. Dave here. Listen, now I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so
Okay, it's
you're gonna
November.
have to run the news tonight. Now don't worry, it's not hard, and I'm gonna stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm gonna give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens. Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up and not down. Underneath that, you've got the
Okay.
screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now,
Ich muss
have a
Frank
look to your
anrufen.
left.
To my left.
These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again. You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain. Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any three and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that, look up to the front.
My Salad Weekly und Come to Bumley. Nein, lass mich da rein.
Right, the tapes are loaded and we're all ready for when we get to the first ad break. That's great. Any second now, you should be getting a signal through from the studio. Stay on your toes, mate. It's election night, so all eyes are on this room. We do not want to get fired.
Okay, das wird jetzt... Geht ein bisschen
When
schnell.
you get the
Was muss ich da
signal,
machen?
select screen one with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
Corn and mayonnaise?
Did I see if you make me proud in costume?
Yeah, thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist, going in 5, 4.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Dawson. Our main stories tonight.
Okay, we're all good. Next is going to be to throw the news titles on screen 2. There'll be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Honest Andy's
It's all gravy.
and Corner's
Okay.
the flowered marketing. Top chat. Wins Sports Personality of the Year. And
Das sollte ich also jetzt gerade nicht machen, oder was?
Megan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Thunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live to Advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic...
Right. Button 2 in 3, 2, 1. Lovely, mate.
Das hätte man mir auch früher sagen können, wenn da oben der Timer nicht...
When that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes.
Sehr interessantes Spielkonzept, das muss ich sagen.
Here it comes. Switch to screen 1. Lovely, mate.
But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance.
We often get a bit of interference around this time, mate. Keep your eye on the machine at the bottom right. Use that slider that's flashing, or your scroll wheel to move the wave up and down, keeping the green bit in the white bit.
But critics have accused him of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly. However,
Whatever the fuck that does.
Great, it's going well. All you've got to do now is play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
the code is accepted.
And 3, 2, 1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody. Jeremy, I need you to fill up to the ends.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late. Oh, I thought I'd ask him about the
Wanker
That's why I
snatch.
wouldn't have confused with any big words.
It's the same policy we use with you. I thought that was our little secret. That's all right, he doesn't remember anything at all.
I'm deeply uncomfortable with your Belgian French. No.
Wicked. Made it to the first ad break. You're doing great, mate. But this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multi-cam sequence, because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb. 1. Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking. 2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long. 10 seconds
Okay.
at most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programs on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
We're coming back from the break. Quiet in the studio. Thank you so much. 10 seconds, everybody. 5, 4, 3.
Das muss ich nicht umschalten. Alles klar.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance. But first,
Get ready to go to Megan on screen 4.
Yeah, yeah.
here the star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, culture correspondent, and today I'm the guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right, go to Blunderclatch on screen 3 when she says his name.
by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much.
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
May I say happy to be with us? As was.
Right, now just try and stay on whoever's talking.
Which is called The Medicated.
The medicated.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter, well, that's Ian Jensen, Meet David. He's a wonderful chap.
Give us a look at Megan's reaction. Lovely. Now back to Thunder Twat.
I said to Peter,
Sollte ich da... Na egal.
That is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you're playing in this movie is quite an academic?
absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
Exactly how you're implying. But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all. A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion.
Wird schon funktionieren.
Let's see who's counting.
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
Das war.
Question, Megan, and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed. And often, that's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding, giving, suffering.
Also dieser Extra-Ton drunter, dass ich das Live-Feed auch noch höre, ist ein bisschen nervig.
I do it for the people.
Been on that show a bit long.
The little people.
Alter, ich wechsel schon.
Most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. What? Difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, that one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again.
Sorry, I said fuck.
Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
Medicated, which opens next week.
Right, they've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'd just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look. Exciting stuff.
Sure, looks like Blunderclash is losing it in the studio, but we ain't got time for that. There's more interference coming. It's a bit trickier this time, mate. Use that little flashing joystick to the left of the knob, or hold down your middle mouse or Alt on your keyboard, and as the frequency changes, match it to the white bit by dragging right.
You think I don't know that?
Now we're going to squash the frequency back by dragging left.
No, Lance, we mustn't. Think of Carol.
That's Dr. Lance to you, Miss Flanagan.
Ich hatte gerade ne. Moment. Hat er die gerade geschlagen?
Jubbly, mate.
You, baby.
Next we're going to change the amplitude. Same as last time. Little joystick or hold Alt or middle mouse, and this time push upwards.
You told me, but I didn't listen. I'm drowning, Lance, you said.
Need to see this.
Right, now let's match it back by going downwards.
Also gut, wenn das Shape sich ändert, dann mittlere Maustaste. Wenn es hoch und runter geht, dann das Ding.
The sterility.
Okay. Sollte ja funktionieren.
This form there, this is the key.
Step it on.
Bloody perfect, mate.
We have to ask ourselves.
At the end of the clip, you'll want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in.
Again. Fire the fuck wird geil. Muss ich mich eigentlich selber muten, wenn ich das spiele? Na egal.
Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words. As you probably noticed, the broadcast screen here is about 2 seconds behind the master screen here. When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up like this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the bleep button or the space bar on your keyboard for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just stay calm and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll literally be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you gotta do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear. Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now. As you turn it up, you'll hear the advert getting louder. Good. You're set to start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember, button
Ja.
lights up, count 1, 2, and hold it down. Remember to select screen 1 now that you've got the feed. Don't wait for the broadcast to go live. That's too late. You can use the
Sei
number
schon.
buttons on your keyboard, 1 to 4.
Seriously?
Bad words. 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I'm told we can now go live to advanced headquarters where the two leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
Oh shit, he's pissed. Get ready to bleep.
Go for it, Pat.
Okay, well, thank you all for coming, and, well, where do I start? What a day.
They said we couldn't do
They
it.
certainly did.
They used every dirty, low-down, lying southern bastard trick they had against us for you, the people.
Nice.
You saw right through their shite.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that. I've had a couple of celebratory pints. It makes me coarser than the grunt is funny.
Memorably put.
Hallo Hilde.
You only got
Ah,
a
fuck.
Let's be honest, who can blame Peter for
Ah,
celebrating?
mal schauen, wie lang es funktioniert.
You've heard us say that advance are not a political party. A party is what you have when
Get on the
things are going
speaker,
well.
mate.
When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. You need a team. A team that can change things. But today is
Vielleicht auch
day
ein Team, das die
one
Wahrheit sagt und nicht nur Scheiße baut.
of a fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbook.
Again, colourfully put, but not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act. Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every
Wie
person
gelangweilt die
who
auf
comes
eins sind.
to the millions.
Audience is getting bored,
know
mate.
this sort of- probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated communities.
Tomorrow, we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system.
Ich weiß nicht, ob das die beste Idee ist, wenn man eine Wahl gewonnen hat, sich erstmal richtig hart zu besaufen.
Trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So, all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to
Holding it
hide.
down a bit long there,
Earlier
mate.
today, we revoked your passports. You want them back? You threatened before the election. That's fine. But first,
Wird schon stimmen.
you're gonna pay up. You're gonna pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team. To properly fund health and education.
Wer von den beiden wohl die Arbeit macht? Wahrscheinlich die Frau. Und der Mann wurde gewählt, weil man Frauen nicht wählt, oder wie ist es?
Raise billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret shite. So to you posh twats,
The people who pay you a
mein,
pittance to serve them drinks in their private
Waren ja
shops.
genug Wähler
People
jetzt,
whose children
die
you
gezeigt
raise.
haben, dass sie Frauen nicht wählen wollen. Warum auch immer, auch wenn sie besser entschieden
Advance
sind.
have this to say to you.
Perfect.
ends today.
We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
Irgendwie schon, ne?
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been. In the
Give us a
hands of the
reaction
people who
shot.
created it.
It ends today.
Yes, it ends today. And tomorrow, we'll start making it fair again. Just like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents, I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time.
Nailed it.
Am schönsten finde ich, dass das jetzt We'll all get fucked oder so ist.
Speech there from the leaders of Advance.
Aber
And our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully we got
Aber
that bleeped out for you in time.
solange sowas nicht dabei
Not,
ist.
someone's going to be in trouble. So, as the country braces itself...
Der
for
grad
new
mich
government,
gemeint.
That's all from us this evening at the National Nightly News. We'll be back tomorrow with full coverage of the first day under Advance. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
Right, looks like you've got it now. Thanks for all the help, mate. I've got to go. Ferry's about to leave. Probably probably won't be coming back. Job's yours, mate. Good luck.
Oh, boring politics then.
Is this some weird fever dream? Am I dying?
Habe ich jetzt auf einmal einen neuen Job oder was?
You should be so lucky. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Not going for a drink?
No, got a date.
Lucky you. Try not to get murdered.
What the fuck? Wer sagt sowas zu... Hä?
When the program's finished, you'll get a broadcast report. It's 3 pages. This first page shows you how well the broadcast went.
Okay, ich war nicht sehr gut.
Overall grade. Remember, grades mean bonuses, and they keep the boss happy. If you want to know more about how it went, select more info. If not, select continue to move to the next page. Right, this is an optional section for when you really want to understand what happened during the show. You got a graph there showing you what the audience did. They're a fickle fucking bunch. And of course, you can really drill into the details if you want to get better at making
Warum bist du nur auf
TV.
meinem linken Ohr, obwohl das Telefon rechts steht? Das stört mich gerade. All offensive words were censored, an interference-free show, and exceedingly poor edit.
Right,
Ah ja.
this is the important page. It tells you how much you're going to get paid and how much wealth you have overall. That bollocks at the bottom shows you the financial state of our main advertisers. But you don't own any fucking shares. You're a cleaner, for God's sake, so why would you care?
Tripling Debt. Also ich bin jetzt vom Cleaner, sehr passend zu dem Spiel, das ich davor gespielt habe, vorletzten Spiel, das ich gespielt habe, on Stream, bin ich jetzt hierher
This
gekommen.
is the last page and it tells you the state of the world, tells you how well the government's doing, and down the bottom there, this one's important, tells you what Channel 1 currently thinks of you. In other words,
Heartbreak.
what the boss thinks.
Also die mögen mich momentan nicht.
Alright mate, welcome to the archive. This is where you can have a quick look back at what you've done and how it looked to the public. There's 3 sections, broadcast, rushes and adverts. Let's start with broadcast. Click on it now. Over on the left, that's all the broadcasts that you've done. Click on any one of them and hit load tape. Once it's finished loading, you can use the rewind and the fast forward at the bottom there to help you get to the bit you want to see.
Tonight's national nightly news. But before that,
Let's take a look at what's coming up later on tonight on Channel 1. At 7 o'clock, it's the semi-final of the quotation game, and it's a nail-biting quiz tonight as a team of nuclear physicists take on 4 old ladies from East Region.
Ah, die gute Mickey Mouse.
Award-winning documentary series, The Shape of Now, which tonight looks at the history of the new length sock and its importance during the Great Blackouts of 1871. Not one to miss.
Alter.
At 9 p.m, sit back and relax with multiple award-winning movies, The Freedom of Being Colin, taking us all the way up to 11:15, where, as usual, Dr. Adrian Atkinson Blimey will be grilling his guests in...
Ah, da kann ich noch schnell machen.
Hopeful or hostile? Controversy as global mega...
Stimmt, habe ich den Fehler gemacht.
Deliberately...
Kann ich weiter?
Click on rushes and let's have a look at those. Right, this is the
Warum?
rushes room. It's pretty simple. The 4 screens you can see, they're going to show you the 4 signals you got from the studio during the actual broadcast. Difference is you can mute any combination of them, so you can
Apparently, you've
listen
been
to the
drinking
stuff
since
you weren't
lunchtime.
allowed to
Fine,
show.
you online version of
Select
the
the
time.
I
broadcast
know.
and give it a
God
go.
help whoever has to
When you're
bleep
done
this.
listening to the
10
backstage
seconds,
secrets,
everybody.
I mean, a lawyer and a TV personality running the country? Seriously?
We've had worse. 5, 4...
Die Frau ist der Lawyer, ist die Anwältin bestimmt.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now...
It makes me coarser than a granny's fanny.
Memorably put.
Kann ich jetzt auf Continue machen, weil irgendwie stört mich das gerade, dass ich so viel neues Zeug mache. Warum bin ich eigentlich die Puppe, die gespielt wird, und warum bin ich nicht der Puppenspieler? Weil ich entscheide ja, was im Fernsehen dann kommt, oder? Day 3, an unexpected form. You arrive home to find posts on the mat, most being nothing more than the usual junk mail. One letter, however, catches your eye. The team wants to know you. Curiosity gets the better of you. It's a form from the new advanced government asking for information on all citizens. The first page is filled in already. Okay, ich bin anscheinend verheiratet und habe 2 Kinder. The rest of the questions are left for you to complete. They appear to be mandatory. Question 1. Upon starting a new job, you would Be friendly and introduce yourself to your new co-workers. Be productive and get to work immediately. Ease yourself in and orientate yourself within the workplace. Reminiscence with friends about old shit. A colleague in a different department has confided in you that they've been taking home confidential information. Now a file of minor importance has gone missing. You would... An entire department was fired today for consistent underperformance. Your boss has put in place new targets that are significantly higher than the previous one. You would... Your boss has put in place new targets that are higher than you would... Fuck you? It's the annual company barbecue and you and your family have been invited. You are washing your hair that day, or if you're free but would missing and have been practicing with your coworkers and think you'll win the talent contest. Mein Grillen mit der Firma ist jetzt nicht gerade schlecht, aber... You've had a long, successful career and are now about to retire. In your speech, you list your achievements and all the good memories you have of working there, give an honest review of the pros and cons of the company, focus on issues and challenges you faced while working there, refuse to attend. Das wäre schon eine lustige Sache. Ich gehe in Rente und... Ich meine, ich bin einfach nur krank geworden und bin dadurch in Rente gegangen. Honest review, pros and cons. In your spare time, you like to relax alone, doing nothing like listening to music or making models, attend political rallies and stand up for what you believe in, encourage and support your children with their hobbies, play in your local sports team. Was zum Teufel geht hier eigentlich? Also ich habe das Spiel, glaube ich, noch nicht so wirklich verstanden. The ideal holiday getaway will be surrounded by nature beauty, getting away from the strain of the daily grind, exploring somewhere unfamiliar and discovering new experiences and challenges. Yeah. A structured day out at the theme park, bursting with thrills and attractions for you and your family. Stimmt auch. For a month, romantic getaway with your partner to the tropic. Aber ich würde alle 4 machen. Surrounded by natural... Fuck it. It is most important that the government keeps people free. Warum sind das lauter Fragen, wo ich alle 4 Antworten teilweise als richtig ansehe? Slade, Sam and the kids have gone to bed. You're just drawing up a favorite comic. Important souvenir of your first trip together. The prince faded, but the goofy face still makes you smile. They're in the garden clutching a Claudinian green suitcase as Frisk, Sam's sibling. As soon as you let them in, they sit at the kitchen table visibly stressed. I'm sorry for bursting in so late, Alex, Chris stammers, but I need a favor and you're the only one I can ask. No need to worry, Sam. Okay, die Schwester darf jetzt nicht. It's you I came to see. I just need 2 minutes. You've heard about the assets and wealth acts. I literally work on... It's total bullshit. They're taking whatever they want and distributing it as they see fit. No government should have that kind of power. I can't believe they're actually getting away with it. Madness, which is why I need your help. Look, I know it's a lot to ask, but I need to borrow your passport? They've taken mine in half the bloody countries, but people always say you and I look similar, so Chris, I need to leave before it's too late. Once I'm out, me and my money will be safe, but I need to go now and before they freeze my account. What? Mit anderen Worten, der ist reich und... you're joking, right? I've always done right by you and Sam. I've treated your children like they were my own. We are a family. Does that mean nothing to you? ich würde halt gerne wissen, warum. Also, die Argumentationskette wird mir nicht schlüssig, weil ich bin in Crippling Debt und der Typ hat anscheinend so viel Geld, dass er gegen die Leute, die die Reichen besteuern wollen. Nö, fick dich. Fine, I solved this myself. Chris Bits. So much for family loyalty, eh? Grabbing the nigh-on fluorescent suitcase, Chris disappears into the night. You go back to the dishes, picking up Sam's cup again. The peeling face now seems to pour into you. Ah ja, ja, dachte ich mir. Das ist so ein Milliardär, der davor fliehen wollte, dass er mal was bezahlen muss. Fick dich. Vor allem in der heutigen Zeit. Fuck you all. Elon Musk hat's euch richtig verkackt. Dieser dumme Arsch. Oh, was geht jetzt ab? Power on.
You need to get at least the bottom 4 plugs on. Right, let's load up the adverts.
Was ist denn das? Fan.
You know, load the tapes under the desk. Look
Ja.
You might want to have a bit of a think about it. Your decisions have consequences, don't they?
Let's go better. Crazy Nell. Crazy Nell's festive Yuletide ornament, spectacular. An elegant new skin cream with porky little twist. Alan James is coming soon to a medium-sized hall near you. Should we play this? Remington Swiss must-have toy for your child this Christmas. Weißt du was? Wir spielen das ab, weil sie wollen, dass ich es nicht spiele.
Right, you can see they finally got the old headline system up and working again. The Navision mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. These 2 buttons at the bottom of the Vision mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them. And they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen here. It's
Okay.
really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Provided you make a decision in that time, you're fine. And you can change your mind as much as you want until the clock reaches 0. But if you don't make any decision, you'll be fired before you even get to make another choice. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts, choose carefully. And we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon. 10 seconds, everybody.
Mistrust the moon. What the fuck?
It's going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future might hold with a leading economist and radical free thinker. With the Assets and Wealth Act on the brink of raising living standards for the vast majority of the country, I'll be asking my guests if we're on the way to a new future. Out with the old, Remington Swiss have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington has
Sollte ich
always
zeigen, dass die Roulette
she was
spielt?
top
Das ist
of
doch
her
irgendwie.
class at
Ja.
university and graduated with the highest honours, immediately being asked back to lecture. The markets have responded favourably to Sophia's appointment, with stocks rising 30 points in light of the announcement. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehearts. Sophia promises it'll be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety. Making a splash, intrepid scientist Dr. David Wall, a marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborg and Horgensford.
Was für ein abgefucktes Bild wollen die da benutzen?
The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, but thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flower technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. This is, of course, only the latest in a series of successful expeditions for this unlikely pair. In a joint statement about the dangers their team might face, the pair stated, "We will face the plentiful challenges together like we always have." Playing the field, rumours abound as sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves is snapped leaving Bush, one of the
Das
capitals.
sind ja beide scheiße, die
The
Bilder.
footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. And judging from the angle and velocity of that spray, it looks like Johnny may have been celebrating a little bit too much. I certainly wouldn't want to be his dry cleaner. And Griever's bodily charm. With advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective. With more and more powers passing to the police, and less oversight, are we using an advanced-shaped sledgehammer to crack a nut? All that and mega more with young actors already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Was wird das jetzt? Was ist jetzt falsch? Oh. Interference.
In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan?
It's all in my book. Alan James is right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd, ignorant, sterile and short-lived.
Wie abgefuckt ist man, dass man denn seinen eigenen Namen da drauf packt und sagt, ich habe recht.
In a mad orgy of consumption. If you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is
shamelessly self-promoting. Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most destructive threat that the world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't
And this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking
out of the wrong orifices.
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, we'll be laughing then.
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, Advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier.
What the fuck is going on here?
Target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people. Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research and the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Franken-science and opiates. Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Alan?
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals. They're pumping stuffing it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong, I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If advanced lose their
Kann man dem
power
noch
after
einen
spending half of our GDP
Aluhut-Kopfschmuck
dismantling
vorbeiziehen?
infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
Oh, of course. Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order before Megan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by them then?
Shut the fuck up, Alan. I've never heard so much shit in my life.
Well, we'll see who's full of shit, won't we?
Alan, I can explain it to you, but unfortunately, I can't understand it for you.
Vielleicht hat sie.
Well, I don't know what she meant by that.
Warum bist du noch am Telefon?
How's it going actually? Fuck it, I don't care, I hate the fucking news. Oh, bloody hell, I love this tune though. Alright mate, see you later, bye!
Oh shit, you will. She's good. You know she is.
I've said I put a word in, that's all I can do.
10 seconds, everybody. Is little JT scared of the big bird caught you with water?
If that sticks, I'll destroy you.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In our second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line.
Lawyer.
Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face with the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desks.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Well, we can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem. We need more support from ministers. We need change at a structural level,
I'm
Jeremy.
leaving, Greg.
Not a good time, darling.
It never is it? I'll be at my mother's.
Just hang on. No, the problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No. Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public.
Sorry to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving him?
Yes, I totally understand. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. Next, I'm joined by Police Chief Constable Bob Peel, a man with a very different perspective on our nation's crime. Do you think there's a problem with the system, Bob?
I'm sure we all do, Jeremy. I'm sure we all long for a return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night, looking in through windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without the risk of being terrorised by some thug with a knife. Or kosh.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly. It's all in the Bible. Look, Leviticus clearly states that... Oh, bugger, hang on a moment. Jeremy, you bloody gimps escaped. Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? As I was saying, Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
And just to be clear, you think it's the immigrants who are responsible for the moral decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back in your box, Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use a little help with this.
I'm sorry, darling. I was spaying the badgers.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson. Clive, could you put him back in the box?
Oh, Clive, you know it's Wednesday.
change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people of
Darling,
this...
where's the padlock?
Oh, hold on just a moment.
Oh, Clive, this simply won't do. Naughty, naughty, naughty boy. Mummy said...
Clive, I am not having this again.
Mummy said...
What the fuck is going on?
Naughty, you beast, Clive.
As I was saying, Jeremy, moral decay. Crime is the responsibility of the criminal, no one else. Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alex comes home with an A-, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes
Natürlich hat
the
er eine
pills and
Tochter.
hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there, really locking down the police's position on morality for us. And finally tonight, hopefully uninterrupted, it's time to get to the heart of the matter. Tony Dawson has recently been released from prison after serving 3 years for aggravated assault, burglary and menacing a swan. He's agreed to talk to us today, which is also, I believe, his birthday. Many happy returns, Tony.
Cheers, Jez. Call me Titwank Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Titwank Tony. Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against
Titwank
institutionalization,
Tony.
imagine. And obviously,
Das ist auf jeden Fall britisch.
hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Titwank Tony. Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party. Good bunch of lads.
Okay, well, we're trying to get back to that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you
Es geht
think
noch
your
2
time
Minuten.
spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Titwank Tony. I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez.
Welches der Wörter wollen ihr eigentlich, dass ich jetzt überbliebe? Tit oder Wank?
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. Big Chris, little Chris, and Vampire Chris.
This one, yeah?
Yep. 1 sec, love. Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Jez. Just got to sit up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust.
Vampire Tony war echt mega.
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this guy?
You are joking. Chrissy Freebollocks has only got Mr. Fancy, oh. Not now, fellas, I'm on the news.
It seems like we've caught you at a bad time.
The little boy?
I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here. Jesus.
Yes, we seem to be losing the signal, Tony. Well, we're just trying to get that signal back. I think we... Yes? Tony? Tony, I mean, you were literally away for 2 seconds. How does this happen, Tony? Can you hear me? Well, we've lost our hopefully you, the viewer at home, have managed to glean a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues around...
Ich will gar nicht wissen, wie die das alles gedreht haben.
Megan will be live with some lucky young thespians. Don't go away. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back, everybody.
Mate, I ain't got long and I'm quite drunk. It's been a great night. In this next section, there's a bit of music. If you edit in time with the music, you can see the result on the vision mixer, and the public will love that. Don't worry if you don't know, you won't get punished for it or nothing. Just try and stay in the groove. Also, one last tip: when the music starts, turn down the broadcast volume. Right, enjoy the music bit. God, I love music. God, I'm so pissed. I think I might go and throw up in a bit.
Going in 5, 4,
Martu.
3. Welcome, Flag. I'm Megan Wolf, and on tonight's
Comes
Culture
Black.
Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Scritchford Sixth Form College who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled.
We are, Megan. We're overwhelmed, to be honest.
And I believe you two are sisters, is that right?
Yes, Charlotte's my oldest. I'm the older, more popular one. I'm joking.
Harriet and Frey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea.
So, Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey, let's actually do something.
So I went to look for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off due to budget cuts. Fortunately, I directed a pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes, as it were.
Right, yes, but you're the maths teacher, aren't you?
Yes, that's me, Jeff Algebra, maths teacher.
Okay, wie abgefuckt waren diejenigen, die das gedreht haben?
It's one of the oldest art forms in history, Aristotle. I just think that when we travel around all these problem schools and the poor kids see us, they say, hey, I really want to be like those attractive kids. And that's a very beautiful and powerful thing. We touch our audiences and they touch us right back.
I suppose with a surname like Algebra, there was really only one choice of career for me.
Ich weiß nicht, ob man wirklich sagen will, ich fasse die alle an.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
We just want to bring a bit of song and joy into people's lives.
And teach people about the difficult issues. The issues in the play are what really matter.
And I think you're going to be showing us an extract from this play, aren't you?
That's right. To put into context, I play a young first year who's having some troubles at school.
Her character doesn't actually have a name, yeah, because in a way she's like all of us.
It's like a metaphor. Maybe she's you at home, or like maybe she's you, Megan.
Maths is really important. Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Maths is really important.
Right, well, I'm going to have a little chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it. That's it, that way.
Was sollte ich hier zeigen?
Jeff, when did you first hear about the grant?
2 days ago. A letter from Advance arrived at the school. Now, the headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
Wow, how did you react?
I also threw it in the bin. But then Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be voting from now on.
Do you know what? It's funny because Angela and I don't usually vote. We were not very political. I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic, mainly. But we did used to watch that Peter Clements DIY show back in the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go at this whole democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we bally well are.
Good stuff.
Fucking brilliant!
So, let's have a look at a short section of Hey, Friendship.
Dear Diary, I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears. Tears. Another day of fears. But still I walk the corridors alone. Alone. Dreading what might be around every corner. What's around the corner? What's around the corner? What's around the corner? Oh, hi Gary. Oh heavens no! It's Gary the Fist! Gary the Fist!
Going somewhere, little first year?
Great. I've been looking for some poor victim to bully all morning. But will this make me feel better about my violent father?
Excuse me?
What's going on
I'm
here?
late for maths. It's my favourite subject. And so important.
Maths is for losers. What? Maths is for losers. My arm's stuck, coach. Keep going, for fuck's sake. Right. Maths is for losers. Now, give me your lunch money.
Double lunch for me today, but why am I only truly happy when I'm eating?
Not today, Gary the Fist.
What do you mean not today? Who are you? Oh, my arm's free, coach. Brilliant, keep going. Right, who are you to stand up to me? I'm Gary the Fist, and you're just a sad little girl with 2 gay dads who's all alone.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist. These are my 2 new friends. Vanessa is captain of the netball team. Yeah. And Blake owns a motorbike.
Yeah.
But I can't fight all 3 of you, and I don't have any friends of my own.
So. Thank goodness you're here. Oh Gott. Warum versuchen die überall jetzt Rap reinzukriegen, nur wegen Hamilton? Ich meine, Hamilton hat's gut umgesetzt, aber what the fuck? It's not ready. Ist auf jeden Fall britisch.
Hitting women is wrong.
I guess life's pretty hard on a council estate. 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 It's so damn hard on a council estate. Life can be peachy keen. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So ein bisschen das Kotzen gerade.
It's your choice to be me. It's my choice. So stop now, make a different choice. Friendship!
Yes! Ho, ho, ho.
Well, thankfully that's all we have time for tonight on the National Nightly News. Join us tomorrow night for all the headlines from across the country. My name's Jeremy Dalton. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out.
Oh, that was brilliant!
What the literal fuck was that?
I believe that was art.
I believe I've got a 14-inch cock, but doesn't make it so.
I have a similar belief about an adequate paycheck.
Oh, someone please get these twats out of my studio.
Thank goodness you're here. Ich meine, das hier finde ich gerade schon etwas abgespaced. Ach, das war das, wo diese ganzen Minispiele und das ganze Zeug, ne? Ja, an das erinnere ich mich. Ja. Ich werde besser. Ey, ich hab volles Gehalt bekommen. Channel kann mich immer noch nicht leiden. Aber schön, dass sie die Musik nochmal richtig schön laut reinpushen, wenn es dann alles vorbei ist. Damit auch ja die Ohren bluten. A late night. Diese Zwischensequenzen, die sind so komisch. You arrive home after one long shift to find a note waiting for you on the counter. Journalist Sam's hurried scrawl. Chris has been evicted for not paying rent. Sam's gone to pick up Chris' stuff from the street. Don't wait up, underlined twice. Though this is your fault now, is it? You sulkily press play on the cheap horror film you were going to watch together. It used to absolutely terrify you as a kid, but always makes the two of you laugh. It's not the same without Sam, but you still chuckle to yourself occasionally. Just as you get to the good bit, the part where Candy decides to investigate alone, your 14-year-old son interrupts. He wants to go to a friend's house. He looks at you in a way only a child can, pleading but somehow defiant. You let him go as long as he promised to be home by 11. You tell Charlie no, he knows he's not allowed to out this late on a school night. Couldn't give a fuck. Clearly surprised, he practically races out the door. You doze in front of the museum, waiting up for his return. You start awake to the sound of TV static. It's gone midnight and there's no sign of Charlie or Sam. Arriving at the friend's house, you find your son, who miraculously notices the time when he sees you. He may think you were born yesterday, but at least he apologized. That's something. Not done. Tight Christmas. Also ich vermute mal, die meinen vom Geld her. You can't help but crack a smile as you look around the table. The snow has settled on the grass outside. The kids are pulling a cracker while your elderly mother tries to keep her eyes open. You did always have a soft spot for Christmas. It's been a tense afternoon, everyone can feel it. It's the first time you've seen Chris since you've refused to part with your passport. It's a big change for Sam. The two siblings used to be inseparable. Christmas is usually such a nice time of year. Usually. Naja, mal schauen, wie es am Morgen ist. The chatter of cutlery is all that can be heard as Chris stares pointedly at you. Your mother stares vacantly at you, confused. She comes back to herself with a start of recognition. Yes, thank you, Alex. It's lovely, she murmurs. It's been happening more and more lately. Oh gut, die ist dement. The clatter of cutlery is all that can be heard as Chris stares pointedly at you. You stand and raise your glass. Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm glad we are all here. There are murmurs of cheers and much clinking of glasses. Chris doesn't move. Yeah, we are all here, no thanks to you. Chris, sighs Sam. Come on now, it's Christmas, can't we put that behind you? Chris turns away from you, taking some frustration out on a cheap cut of roast chicken. Your daughter Susie seizes the opportunity to corner you. You know how you love me. Die will was. You know me and my friends are planning on going traveling this year. Susie begins innocently. Well, I was hoping you'd help me with the money. She's interrupted by Chris, who makes a derisive snort. I wouldn't hold your breath, Suze. Not known for your generosity, are you, Alex? You know what? Let me make this easy for you, Chris spits, heading for the door. Sorry kids, Sam is standing now too. Oh nice, Alex, real nice, Sam. Alter, ich hab dem meinen Ausweis nicht gegeben, was soll der Scheiß? The cheap canned vegetable tastes bitter in your mouth as the meal continues in miserable silence. The clock chimes and you realize you've been chewing a mouthful of watery carrots for about 10 minutes. You're so grateful when your daughter begins telling you about her plans for the year. We'll see so many parts of the world and learn so much about other cultures. I was hoping you'd help me, Susie admits sheepishly, suddenly intent on an itch behind her ear. You sigh and lower your voice. You know money is really tight now that Grandma's staying here. We just don't have much to spare, Susie, but please, Harriet's parents are helping her. Könnte es hier nicht eine Option geben mit, lass es uns mal durchrechnen oder so eine Scheiß? Aber nein, I'm sorry, I wish I could afford it, but we can't. Was wahr ist, weil ich bin ja anscheinend in crippling debt. Oder, alright fine, we'll find a way to make it work. Aber ich weiß halt noch nicht mal, wie viel Geld der Mensch hat. Woher soll ich wissen, ob ich der Tochter jetzt sagen kann, dass sie das haben darf oder nicht? Wenn ich wüsste, wie viel du auf der Bank hast, aber wenn Crippling Debt, dann bist du ja bereits pleite, also dann hast du ja kein Geld. What? Das ist so unfair. Was ist so unfair darüber? Before letting out a frustrated shriek and making a dramatic exit. She's acting more like an overgrown toddler than a 19-year-old. 19 ist. Sorry, Sue, we just don't have the money right now. Maybe next year, then when things are more settled. Warum geht ihr nicht arbeiten? Charlie excuses himself awkwardly as you start to clear the plates in silence. Have you had a nice birthday, Pat? Merry fucking Christmas. Jetzt mal blöd gefragt. Wenn ich jetzt der Tochter einfach gesagt hätte, ja, das machen wir schon. Aber ich bin in crippling debt. Wie hätte ich das bezahlt? You're leafing through the pile of accumulated posts. Each new bill pulls on your gut like a lead weight until a flash of blue makes you pause. Recognizing the teal advance logo on that envelope, you tear it open. Dear Winston resident, thank you for sending us your passports for approval. We can now confirm their receipt and validation for the new assets and wealth redemption scheme. Hopefully this will make the last month of arguments with them worth it. As such, it's our pleasure to enclose a check which we hope you will see as a symbol not only for our gratitude to you, but for your unwavering commitment to creating a society free of inequality. The robbing of your fresh, speed-induced paper cut is the only reason you can believe you're awake. A check, and a sizable one at that. Chris was right, at once really are redistributing wealth. We will continue to strive for the betterment of this nation and its people. Forward together, die zwei Typen, the weight of your financial burdens lessens slightly its bliss. Ich weiß noch nicht, was so schlimm daran ist, dass die wirklich das Vermögen verteilen. Why does the zip on this damn case never close? It's your anniversary. Every year you and Sam go away for the weekend, usually camping. You're not made of money. You've been looking forward to it for ages, finally getting some time alone together, whether you can forget about the noise of life. No kids, no work, just a bit of romance and some peace and quiet. The zip finally gives up the battle and you drag the bulging suitcase down the stairs. Good evening, Alex. This is Mr. Bozeman. I'm calling to inform you that you will be required to work this weekend. Oh, ich krieg grad Flecken. Some information has come to light concerning the rising tension between our nation and foreign powers, and the national nightly news team will be working around the clock to ensure we break this story first. Needless to say, I will expect your attendance tomorrow morning, 8 AM sharp. Have a pleasant evening, Alex. Shock turns to annoyance and then fury. What are you going to tell Sam? Sam comes to the norm, brimming with excitement. Kissing you, they grab the car keys from the dishes and start to load your bags into the bag. Message deleted. What was that? Comes a voice from behind you. Nothing important, you reply as you put on your coat, adrenaline coursing through your body, grabbing Sam around the waist. You practically slam the front door. You might as well enjoy your time off, you're going to pay for it on Monday. Ich meine, ich habe die Nachricht nicht gehört, ich war bereits im Urlaub, fertig. Ich habe die Nachricht erst gehört, als ich am Morgen wieder angekommen bin. When you get to work Monday morning, you get some sour looks from your exhausted colleagues. A note sits waiting for you. The immaculate script is blood red. I am very disappointed, Winston. Was it worth it? Sure. Romantisches Wochenende ist immer wert. Etwas, was wir in der heutigen Zeit lernen müssen. Das Leben ist immer wichtiger als Arbeit. Ich musste erst krank werden, um das zu lernen. Your son Charlie hovers at your elbow as you read. Do you find yourself striving to achieve? Are you an active member of the team? Do you like reaping the benefits of cooperations? Join the advanced go-getter today. Forward together. This doesn't sound like the youth club he told you about. Charlie grabs the flyer from you and thrusts a form into your hand. So I can walk there straight from school and Ben's sister can drop us home after, so you won't have to do anything. Also, das ist ein bisschen Dystopien, was hier alles abgeht, oder? Some guys at work gave them to me and they can't go. Sam stands in front of you, brandishing 2 tickets. You see the title in bold letters. Alan James is right in front of you. I'm really unsure. What do you think? Shall we go? Free tickets are free tickets. The show is entertaining but much less funny than you thought. He's a powerful public speaker and something about it sticks in your mind. Lying in bed that night, wide awake, long after Sam's breathing turns heavy, it hits you. It was the crowd. Not laughing, but roaring. Ich hätte irgendwie erwartet, dass das Spiel mehr Broadcasts hat und weniger Storytelling. After a particularly long day at work, you come home, you find the most posts sorted into piles that Sam has taken to doing recently. Most of it is the usual rubbish, but a letter with the increasingly familiar at once logo and urgent respond immediately plastered on it. Dear Winston residents, this letter is to inform you that at once government has taken another step forward in our fight for equality. By nationalizing the largest private corporation and redistribution their resources among the citizens of this great country, the Partnership Bonds program ensures that wealth created by the people is delivered to the people. Every household will become a partner in one of the 3 carefully selected institutions chosen by advance. Alter, wie abgefuckt klingt denn diese... Alter, ich muss diesen Sound noch weiter runterstellen. Das ist echt abgefuckt, was da für eine Lautstärke auf an den Ohren hängt. Ist immer noch so fucking laut. Fucking hell. A careful selected institution chosen by advance of confidence. Please note all returns are based on public opinion and cannot be guaranteed. Please select one of the following. Eye of the Beholder Incorporated, whether it's cosmetic, clothing or couture, we see the beauty in all our customers. Neil Steels Limited, it's always a steal from Crazy Neil. Pleasure Corp, our business is your pleasure, from sport to travel or even just some U-turn. You can't say pleasure without leisure. What the fuck is going on? Thank you for making a selection. Please return this form using the envelope provided. You will receive a report from your partnership in 3 to 6 working months. It seems even at once can't defeat the quagmire of government bureaucracy. Schön, habe ich jetzt mehr Geld, weil ich die ausgesucht habe. A profitable partnership. The future of this nation is in partnership. Forward together, bla bla. Es fühlt sich alles komisch an, was die hier machen. Ah, ich darf mal wieder zurück an diesen Tisch. Prostate. Ja, check your prostate.
probably just a really awful date.
10 seconds, everybody. Like I said, all of you.
Did your personality accidentally slip out?
Pricks. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening.
Also doch er.
And I'm Megan Wolf. Our main stories tonight.
Uncooperative. A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight on thousands of buildings throughout the capital.
Tonight, in an exclusive live interview with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, I'll be asking what this mysterious symbol might mean.
After 3 months of record-breaking approval ratings, could this be the daring first move of a silent resistance movement? And what would that mean as we go into the future?
We shall overcome. Trapped in Dante's taint for more than a month now, Doctors Ingrid Svorsborg and Horgensvoord and David Wong announced today that they're considering 2 possible options.
With 2 of the finest minds in science working together, hopes are still high for the eventual return of the team to dry land.
Without enough engineers to successfully fix their craft, the team seem likely to attempt to farm the cabin's ecosystem while they wait for rescue from above ground. I think I'll stick to risotto, Jeremy.
Bearing their opinions, the formerly rich are fighting back with a naked protest.
Our very own Robin Short was on hand earlier today when this new protest group first presented themselves.
Spokesman Wentworth Somerset Bentley said today, "They've had the shirts off our backs. They might as well have the rest of it too." And while it's easy to laugh, perhaps we should all just be pondering how desperate the formerly rich are to regain their power.
Fallen angel, notorious addict Johnny Hansleaf seems to have reached a new low in his battle with booze, as this recent picture reveals.
Johnny's star certainly lacks its former glory these days, with public concern over his mental and physical health growing with an alarming rate.
Since being banned from the national squad earlier this year after urinating on a referee during a friendly against East Grinchley, things seem to have gone from bad to worse.
What the fuck?
Is this once celebrated role model about to become the bad boy of sport?
And onwards and upwards. In an attempt to put the Mr. Snugglehugs disaster behind them, Rivington's Fist CEO Sophia Rivington today announced a brand new product that already has the markets buzzing with interest.
This groundbreaking product came as quite a shock when it was revealed earlier today, though its critics are skeptical that the young CEO can fulfill her promises.
Described as a breakthrough far ahead of its time, the male contraceptive pill is heralding a sexual revolution. It's banned.
Ich meine, immer noch besser die Waffe zu entladen, als sichere Sachen zu verkaufen.
With that exclusive Prime Ministerial interview coming up later.
And our very own Patrick Bannon coming to you live from the first annual Sports Board Final.
You won't want to miss a second of tonight's National Nightly News. Like so many of those affected by the Christmas bloodbath, has spent the last 3 months undergoing a series of reconstructive surgeries.
Last week, joyfully, he spoke for the first time since the tragedy. Tonight, he talks to us.
Before we go to the however, this station would like to issue a full and frank apology for any part we may have played in the tragedy. We should never have advertised Mr. Snugglehugs. That our publicity, the sheer scale of this tragedy, now upwards of 8,000 casualties, might have been averted.
On behalf of the Nightly News team, we're sorry.
In future, we will do better.
Now it's over to Robin Short at the Tadlock family home. Robin?
Thank you, Megan. I'm here with Mr. and Mrs. Tadlock and their 7-year-old son, Timothy. Thanks for spending time with us today.
Yes, well, you're very lucky with spending any time with you at all. After what you lot did. Irresponsible. I mean, whose idea was this anyway?
It's all right. It wasn't your fault. As you can see, Megan, there's still a few open wounds here. I'll tread carefully. I'm going to speak to Timmy now. Hello, Timmy. Can you see me?
Mummy, who's that lady? It's the lady from television, Timothy. She's going to ask you a few questions.
And you be careful now, it upsets me to remember.
Don't worry, Mr. Tadlock. I wasn't the youngest ever editor of the Swinstead Middle School Inquirer for no reason. So, Timmy, can you tell us what happened to you? You had just unwrapped Mr. Snugglehug's hand. Was he under the tree?
Yes, I could smell him already. He smelled like love.
Ah, yes, that'll be the fur, scented with hoof.
I was so excited. I ran up to my room and gave him a big hug. He was so soft and warm, like our cat, before he got in the way of Daddy's Porsche.
Jolly cat had a death wish.
And what did Mr. Snugglehug say to you?
He blinked his real action eyes and said, "You're my very best friend." But I sure wish Mrs. Snugglehug was here, and she can't be for just $89.99. And then it's the general error. What's he want?
And is that when he burst into flames?
Look careful.
And then he exploded.
Oh, look, I've asked you nicely.
And am I right in saying that one of his real action eyes is now permanently embedded in your cheek?
Yes. When I took him in at night, it glows through bandages. I know it's under there.
Staring at me.
Yeah, some of the other children have started calling him Timmy Three Eyes.
Das ist ein gutes Gesicht.
And with his glasses, that's 5.
It's too many eyes, Robin.
And what's the last thing you remember before the darkness overtook you?
He looked at me with his one eye and laughed. Laughed as he burned.
It sounds very traumatic. Do you have nightmares?
So, right, that's quite enough of you two coming in here with your camera trying to make a buck out of our suffering. I won't have it.
Mr. Tadlock, just a couple more questions. Timmy, do you think you will ever be what we can call
No, you had your
normal
questions.
again?
And now look. Oh, you've made him cry with all 3 of his eyes.
Calm down, you're excited. Do you think your parents will ever really love you again?
Right, that's it, enough.
What the fuck geht mit der ab?
So there you have it, Megan. Just one of the many victims of an indescribable tragedy that has shaken our nation.
Thank you, Robin. Harrowing stuff.
And many questions to be answered by Sophia Remington in the coming days and months, I'd wager. How will she turn this crisis around?
So, Jeremy, what are the warning signs a consumer should look out for when they're spotting a dangerous toy?
Well, Megan, experts advise to always check for the new Advance mark, which guarantee a level of safety and quality.
Yeah, can we just get a close-up on camera 3 here? So if we take a look at this National Nightly News mug, you should see the mark just on the base of it there.
In the wake of the scandal,
Bisschen abgefuckt alles, was hier gerade abgeht, oder?
and bringing in this set of stringent checks and new products.
It certainly is good to know that someone's watching out for our families. When we come back, our very own Patrick Bannon will be live from the Sports Board Finals. Stick around, you won't want to miss it.
We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back.
Oh, sorry, I'm bursting.
She's very good. Megan,
Yes, please.
watch your back, Jeremy. Women are coming.
I'm more worried about this walking to the head.
Alex, Bozeman, we're getting reports in that naked protesters might try and spoil the sports board final by waving their fleshy bits about. Try and make sure you don't broadcast it. It's 6 p.m. for God's sake. No one wants to see fannies on the news. Bozeman out.
Also es ist auf jeden Fall was Englisches. No one wants to see fannies on the news. Verwirrendes Zeug. Ich weiß echt nicht, ob ich das weiterspielen will. Ich meine, es ist sehr faszinierend, was sie da hier die ganze Zeit machen, aber ich finde diese Zwischensequenzen, wo du irgendwelche Texte hast, irgendwie... Weiß nicht. Das sind nicht so meins.
But I always say welcome back.
I think we should just keep it as it is.
Well, of course you do. I've got one hack line.
What's that supposed to mean? I didn't write it, Jeremy.
That's all right, fine. Jenny, there's something wrong with your auto cue.
10 seconds.
Oh, I just felt a drip again. Have they not fixed this?
Want to see us fry? Good for the ratings.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolf. Coming up later, we'll be speaking to the Prime Ministers about their exciting new healthcare facilities, transition centres.
Nice to see they care.
You're absolutely right, Jeremy. But first, we're going now to our
Der
own
ist sehr
Patrick
erfreut.
Bannon, who's reporting live from the finals of the new game that's gripping the nation, Sportsboard. Patrick?
That's right, Megan, you join me live here from the final of the first annual Sportsboard Championship. It's been a hotly contested competition so far. I think it's fair to say these two have been dancing around each other all season. First up, we have Eddie Striker. She's the more experienced of our two players today. Striker has got an accuracy of 7, a danger rating of K, and a 12-month driving ban. Striker's known for her signature move, the Orangi Hamster. And facing her tonight, hoping to prove himself with a career record of 12 outs, 14 finishes, and a divorce pending, it's Mr. Wingspan himself, Tommy, the Fingernail Harris. Just waiting on the ref now. The slapping ceremony is taking part. Still going on. Striker, of course, first to start as she won the trivia round earlier on by some margin. Harris, perhaps the brawn and not the brain. Stupid. Eddie Striker. Nice start there from Striker. She's determined not to let the nerves show. Not up to last time.
What the fuck is going on?
On to Mr. Harris now. Tommy. Using his arm to pick up the ball. Not a bad shot there from Harris. Back to Striker for shot number 3. All right. She's gone to sort of throwing under her legs. Not bad if you ask me.
Versteht irgendjemand dieses Spiel?
But it got sorted out. Back to Harris now. A ball in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. I'd say that's fair, but what do I know? Oh no, and Harris is not going to be happy with that. So really not a good start there for Tommy Harris in round 1. We can only hope that round 2 treats him a bit better. But first, of course, after the argument with the ref section, it's time to change ends. Now we have the ceremonial changing of the ends.
Ah, das sind manchmal echt komische Sachen, worauf die kommen.
And of course, now they go back to the starting positions, as that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Striker giving it large.
Second round, Harris.
Wins around 2 now with Harris. Okay, we seem to have some sort of streak on the pitch. Apologise if we broadcast any of that stuff. She appears to have slogans across her breasts and arse. Try and ignore all of that. Security, I'm sure we're going to take them out as soon as possible. Apologise if we broadcast any of that. As I said, we're going to get the situation resolved as soon as possible. They're trying to carry on play, but it's proving a bit difficult, and I'm struggling to follow. It's quite nice.
Er greift da schon an, eine sehr interessante Stelle an der Stelle.
So back into round 2 now, and Harry's absolutely determined to close that massive gap. Eddie Striker. You know, it's just some of the tightest play I've seen ever. Harris. And was that offensive thumb screw? We haven't seen that since the Heats. What a brilliant move. Back to Striker. And we know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. That is, of course, the ground sound.
The fuck?
Excellent bit of play here on both sides of the bucket. I don't know about you at home, but I'm finding the technical mastering display here absolutely blooming jaw-dropping. The ref has spotted something in Harris's neck or head. And Harris is having an absolute shocker. What a miserable start there for Tommy Harris. But he is a late bloomer, of course, we always said that. And after all, it is a game of 2 halves. 4 rounds and 7 subgenres. But now, of course, it's time for the half-time show. Sponsored by Remington Smith. Must be some music here to start the half-time show. Okay, another posh protester loose on the court here. We can only apologise for that. We'll do our best to shield you from having to look directly at it. Is running around here with his genitals on display for all to see. And ruining what was shaping up to be quite the dance interlude there. Now he's thrusting himself in Harris's face. Security.
Warum redet er darüber, wenn wir das nicht zeigen sollen?
I cannot stand it when the bucket gets knocked over. Hopefully he'll get taken out now. Genitals flying around for all to see. Really, if you ask me, not Sunday morning television. And out of there, hopefully taken away, never to be seen again.
Final poses. Boy cannot be in the final pose.
And a lovely finish there on both sides of the bucket. I wouldn't like to call that one. And as we head into round 3, I'd love to know what's going on in these two players' heads. But unfortunately, because of science, we can't. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Because of science, we can't. Apparently.
Not bad. Well, that ball boy's giving me the eye all the devil day. What's going on there? Striker there, not a great start. She looks a bit flustered, I think, after all that swinging around.
Ich habe immer noch nicht verstanden, worum es geht in dem Spiel.
Back to Harris here. God, what I wouldn't give to be that ball. Am I right, ladies? Tommy Harris. And it dribbled down his arm, which is actually a really good move, because of course if it dribbles down his arm and goes on the floor, it's not going in the bucket.
Also der ganze Sinn ist, dass man nicht in den Bucket wirft. Warum werfen die nicht einfach hinter sich?
And Striker's gone for the animal bonus there, but of course perhaps... And yes, Harris has counted with a tiny bell. That is wonderful play. Of course we've seen that before. Look at her face. She is absolutely gutted. What a mud. That could have been the clincher. What a massive shame.
Harris receives possession now.
Harris to serve now. Harris, of course, undefeated by Kestrel in his last 4 battles. So, here we go. Tommy Harris. That's all right.
Bestimmt.
Not bad there. He threw it quite far away from him, which is quite a good idea. Very clever there. Perhaps a little contact caution from the referee, who's being, if you ask me, a little bit harsh. Eddie Striker. And she's let the nerves get to her. What the hell was that? You hate to see it, don't you? You cannot believe it. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, like, I mean, this is a mess now. I don't know what I can be doing about this. I mean, sort of breasts and genitals for all to see. I mean, there's only so much you can do. They're sort of everywhere, aren't they? All right, I'll try and carry on. The players are trying to carry on, but of course it's difficult because these protesters, hopefully we can get them taken off soon so we can carry on with the match. What's going on here? Yes, yes.
We want our money.
Yes, very good. Take them away. Bloody wasters, absolute wasters.
Wasters. Bloody wasters.
Oh, jog on! This is the mine round. It's an absolute bloody... Okay, and now we're going to go into the final round. And of course, as it's a Tuesday, the final round is a live
Sie da echt 7 Minuten rauskriegen. Also 10 Minuten sogar. Das ist... Hui.
Nice imaginary shot there from Harris. It really could go in there at this point. Really high-level play here from two absolute juggernauts of the sport. The bucket getting moved back to its proper place. About time, if you ask me. She's juggling it around from her hands. And she's put it in her mouth like as if it was an egg. And now she's spat it out. She did the egg spit. So a wonderful move there, quite late on.
Illegal spit.
From Striker. But she's in it to win it. On it like a car bonnet. Tommy Harris.
Seit 3 Runden spielen die schon ohne den Ball. Das finde ich irgendwie sehr faszinierend.
And he's peeling it as if it were a banana, which is an interesting move. Not sure if he has any potassium or what's going on today with Harris. And he's throwing it, and the banana was the ball! What a fantastic move there from Harris. Unfortunately, that is the end. What a pathetic, there we go, Jeremy, that is over. How can he look his 8-year-old son in the face tonight? What a lump. We just have to wait for the referee now to announce it to make sure it is all official.
Contestants in, please. And the winner of the first annual Sports Board Championship is...
Everyone! Okay, the ref has decreed once again a win for everyone, including me as my 15th win in the Sports Board Championship. I'm going to be celebrating tonight with my wife and children. Another wonderful victory for me. Here come the on-site security to collect their medals, their 6th and 7th respectively. And thanks again for watching the Sports Board Championships. What more is there to say? I'm Patrick Bannon, looking forward to celebrating tonight. And all that's left to say, Jeremy, is back to you in the studio.
Patrick Bannon there had an extraordinary fight.
Historic sports board, Jeremy.
I didn't know you were a fan.
Yeah, I can wrench a doubler with the best of them, I'll have you know.
I certainly wouldn't bet against you.
And when we come back, I'll be talking live with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, who apparently have a big announcement you wouldn't want to miss.
That's coming up after these messages.
1 minute back.
Fucking microphone shocked me.
What?
Fucking microphone just shocked me. Where's that sound, guys?
Everything okay?
Oh, the mics are just trying to kill us now, apparently.
You'll be fine. You're unshockable.
I'm immune to your cheap flattery.
I'm wearing you down.
Postman again. Just heard from the chaps in maintenance that this storm is causing the odd power surge. Some of your controls might be a bit, dangerous. Now, I know you're tough and you can take the odd shock for the sake of a perfect news broadcast, but too many in quick succession can stop the old ticker. I'm sure you'll make the right decisions. Postman out.
We seem to have sprung a leak. Well, several, actually.
You're going to need a whole new lining up there. Triple C.
We'll look into it.
Minister, it's so good to see you again.
Miss Wolfe, your star seems to be in the ascendant.
It's a great time to be alive.
Too bloody right. Peter Clement.
Megan Wolfe.
My, but that's a firm handshake you've got there.
She's tougher than she looks. Am I here?
Here, with Mr. Clement on your left.
Right you are, pet.
You'll see, Dan.
10 seconds, everybody.
No, mine's fine. Have you had a little accident?
She's a cow.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I am delighted to be joined by Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury. Welcome to the National
Whoa.
News, Prime Ministers.
Oh, please, it's just Julia and Peter.
We don't believe much in titles. It doesn't seem very advanced.
We're delighted to be here.
Well, firstly, I should ask how you feel about the graffiti that's been springing up across the capital. Should we be worried?
Oh, no, you definitely shouldn't be worried.
Well, not unless you've got a fatal paint allergy anyway.
But yes, it does seem that there are still some people we haven't been able to help.
You know, whingers mostly.
People who've yet to benefit from the many advantages of the new future.
And you know, Megan, as my old mum used to say, there are some pissants who just don't know how to be happy.
We're working hard to reach these people, find out what they're angry about and how we can help. The door to my government is always open. But we didn't come here to talk about what may yet turn out to be some alternative arts project.
Which we no doubt will have funded.
When we want to talk to the nation about something far more exciting.
Yes, your office briefed us that you have an announcement to make, but they were being surprisingly secretive about it.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay, it's not usually how it works, but...
What scares you? I mean, really scares you?
It's death. She's talking about death.
Hat sie gerade Pet genannt?
Being human.
Sorry, are you saying that advanced cured death?
Yeah, that was definitely a dot there.
But while we may not have cured death, we hope we found a way to make it much less scary.
And much less painful and much less expensive. Look, which is me close-up camera there?
Ich bitte sterben gerade.
My mum came and got me from school. He was to go to the hospital. My granddad, he'd collapsed that morning. So we'd all to say our goodbyes. And I went in to see him. He was all frail and pale. I was scared because I'd only seen him the week before. And he'd been fit as fiddle. And he said to me, Peter, he said, it's the right time. I don't ever want to be a burden to the people I love.
Was that the last time you saw him?
Nope, 3 days later he was back home. He lived with us for 9 miserable years after that. He had to be fed with a rubber spoon. He had a commode, so he'd just take a shit right there in the lounge room.
Sounds...
It was awful. It was awful for us, and this is the point. It were awful for him. He could see it was destroying me, man, watching him slowly fade away. And he would beg her to turn off his breathing equipment at night, but she couldn't. Oh, she wouldn't. It were a crime, you see. And she didn't want to lose the children, as well as her old man.
No family should have to suffer like Peter's did. And now no family will have to. The health service is today opening the first of 300 new transition centres.
The transition centres will handle everything for your last days. The legal, financial, medical and emotional costs are all catered for and paid for by the government. So even the poorest citizen gets to pass on with dignity when they choose.
And that choice is important. This is a service only for people who choose it. For people who feel they've run their course and don't want to burden themselves or their families with a slow, long, humiliating decline.
Just giving me an electric shock.
Are you okay?
I don't know. I think it's from my asshole.
Oh, we're still on the air, Peter.
Yes, sorry, my apologies. Oh.
Are you not worried that this new system might be open to abuse?
In what way?
Sorry, I've got a sack to get. Can I get a little bit of help here, please?
That the older generation might feel somewhat...
Jesus, I rolled your face! That one was massive! Right, no.
Sorry, that the older generation might feel somewhat coerced.
Coerced into spending their final days eating gourmet food and drinking fine wine and luxury spas and gardens.
Look, I am perfectly capable of... My grandmother with a rusty twat!
Prime Minister, please watch your language.
Go get yourself sorted out. We're launching a government information film tonight to tell your viewers everything they need to know.
You really do move at a breathless pace. It's hard to believe you've yet to be in office a year.
Come, Megan. We're only getting started.
And on that note, thank you so much for being here. Jeremy.
Right, yes,
What the fuck is this?
Thank yous go out to our guests. Congratulations to all the winners at the Sports Award final. And we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. My name is Jeremy Donaldson. If you can, have a peaceful night.
And we're out. Good job, everybody.
So gorgeous. I don't suppose there's any way this could be a good thing.
Well, it's my nephew, so having transitioned, then I want to leak.
Bin ich gerade gestorben? Ich hoffe es. Channel 1 ist immer dabei, wie sie... Ich glaube, ich save und quitte ich.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight.